We've all seen the disastrous so-called debate between Sleepy Joe Biden and President Trump from June of 2024. I remember watching it and saying to myself, oh man, he is done. But what did Joe's wife, the illustrious Dr. Jill Biden, think as she watched Joe's political career come to an abrupt and embarrassing end?
I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
So why didn't you call 911? Why didn't you rush to his aid? Was it because maybe, I don't know, you'd seen Joe like that before?
I had never, ever seen Joe like that.
Oh, is that so? Well, that's funny because he's your husband and the rest of the world had seen Joe like that for years. Here's a few examples.
Anyway.
Because he is who he is.
The projects.
True international effort to pressure.
And remember Boom Boom Cannon and a few other guys that worked here well. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down and then watch the hair come back up again. I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
She knows so long as she was 9.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Any of those ringing a bell, Jill? People are rightly saying that Jill Biden is a terrible wife and a terrible person for putting her lust for power ahead of her husband's well-being and dignity. But what galls me more than that is her insult to the American people. She actually expects people to believe that she had no idea that her husband was more vegetable than man, even as the whole world could see it with their own eyes. Talk about an insult to our intelligence. Jill said she thought Joe was having a stroke or that he had been drugged, but she let him continue, and when it was all over, she declared Joe the winner and took him to Waffle House. Even Joe admitted to Jill that the debate was a train wreck. The one good thing about this is the fact that by not doing what most former presidents and first ladies do, which is to just go away, Jill's insistence on staying relevant continues to sink the stock of the Democrat Party. So keep it up, Jill. Whatever you do, don't let America ever forget about one of our darkest, most embarrassing presidencies.
I call them panicans because maybe they're not smart.
At this point, I gotta figure the only people voting for Democrats are either lazy, ignorant slobs who want to live off the government, or people who haven't figured out that today's Democrat Party is not the Democrat Party of 30 years ago. Back when Bill Clinton was playing Take the Commander-in-Chief with Monica Lewinsky, most Democrat politicians sounded like a typical conservative Republican of today. Clinton, while discussing immigration, reminded us that we are a nation of laws, and Chuck Schumer was in favor of voter ID. But today's Democrats are an entirely different animal, including animals like Schumer, who has self-served in Congress since I was 10 years old and was first elected to public office before I started kindergarten. Democrat swamp creatures like Schumer and his ilk still want to tax you to death, just like in years past, but they've come up with new and innovative ways to steal our money as they've gained experience through trial and error. Now, that would be bad enough if they actually delivered some good services in return, but that hasn't happened. Democrat-run jurisdictions are easily identifiable. There you'll find high crime, rampant homelessness, poorly paved roads, woefully inadequate public education, and exorbitant taxation. Democrat policy positions are all losers. That's why the politicians can't tell you why you should vote for them without invoking Donald Trump, even when he has nothing to do with what's being discussed. Republicans are all racists, and we hate Republicans, so vote for us. Meanwhile, the very same people turn around and say that women and minorities are too infantile to obtain a government-issued ID, and 2 + 2 = 4 is racist. And just like the Democrat-run jurisdictions being easily identifiable, so too are many of their voters. I mean, expecting the government to confiscate the wages of the productive members of society and redistribute the money to the indolent is ugly. Funding abortions and sex change operations with tax dollars is also ugly. Hell, pretty much everything today's Democrats stand for is ugly. And when you carry around all of that ugliness inside you, it's bound to manifest itself as physical ugliness. If you haven't noticed this phenomenon yet, look into it. You'll see that the more committed a person is to left-wing ideology, the uglier they are physically. And of course, the reverse is also true. Are there exceptions? Sure, but not many. It turns out when your mom told you not to make an ugly face because it might freeze that way, she was right.
You answered every question. You knew all the